Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Live.
Gotta take myself off of mute already, so we are going crazy already today. What's up, everybody? It's the Sunday Scaries here on Inside Arkansas, and once again coming to you another edition of it, getting you ready for the work week. Gonna have some fun with it. Nothing too crazy, you know. Just first one of March, and so appreciate everybody coming to hang out. And you know what it'll basically be about is kind of looking at whatever's going on in the Razorback world, but also anything that you all want to talk about and get into, we will do so. I'm gonna let you know that it may be a shorter Sunday Scaries because of the fact usually I have a guest. Well, did have a guest lined up, but they had to cancel at the last minute, which is fine. So, but we'll still continue on with different things too, and having not only some discussions here, but just to see how the direction of where it goes, and for the chat and everybody. Again, I appreciate all of y'all tuning in and getting in on this, man. What a weird weekend for Razorback sports. Just absolute blowout city on Saturday night, which nobody wanted. Nobody wanted to see that. I know we didn't. I didn't. And it just kind of happened that way. And then you got Razorback baseball, you know, looking weird on Friday. And then suddenly you had with whatever that was on that Friday, they bounced back nicely in the two Saturdays and Sunday games. So, which was great. The women's basketball team gets a win. How about that? That's pretty awesome for them. So you had that going on. The NFL Combine. I talked a lot about this in my Locked On Razorbacks podcast, which is going to be coming out here soon. So be sure to tune into that. I'm going to be diving into some deep details on that, but still just some like good things, you know, good things that happened, but also weird things that happened. And I think that's really where it stands for me. Good, but weird things that started happening. So either way, I'm not worried about, you know, the Razorback basketball team in general, as far as, now I think that they stink, or now, you know, the tournament, they may not even make it that, you know, they'll lose in the first round. It's like, I don't think it changed that much. It's more of like, that was just an unfortunate thing to where you saw where you stacked up, and you're not that team yet. No, you're just not that team. So, but that's the way that Razorback athletics goes. You know, few weeks ago, everything was great. You know, you won in every sport. And then this weekend, it was all over the place. Nobody really knew what to do with it. So, sorry. Yeah, I got to get y'all's chats on the screen here, so that way everyone can see the nonsense I have to deal with from all of you. No, but it was interesting. You know, there's a lot of stuff that went on. You know, seeing Cal and Todd Golden get testy was kind of funny. And I don't think there's anything of it. It's just strange. And also too, I was gonna be honest with y'all, like, it kind of pisses me off, but it's so like on brand. I tweeted out during the Arkansas Florida game, I think it was like 45 minutes into the game. So I think it was like 8:15. I tweeted out a very simple thing of, you know, Florida's reportedly like can't shoot the three. Then they start hitting all the threes. It's like, that's just the way it goes. Brutal. Like, all these Florida fans, I guess, thought that I tweeted that after the game, and they were like putting out there, even if we missed all of our threes, we still would have beaten you. It's like, yeah, but you got to look at the timestamp for the game. You got to do that. So anyways, really interesting stuff, really wild stuff that happened. And yeah, it was just funny. You know, Florida fans, it's fun when they are good in something, especially in basketball. And Todd Golden's got him a great team, great program. They are a very lucky program over there, to where they have hired two really good national championship winning coaches out of three, essentially. Mike White wasn't it, but you know, how many places can you see do that? You know, Kentucky hasn't even done that. So yeah, it's a crazy thing, man. So yeah, any chats that you guys want to talk about, we'll get into. There'll be no Sunday Scaries next week. I leave on Wednesday for Mexico. Yeah, and I'm already getting anxiety from it. I will not be around Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday for the most part. And I'm going to go out there and see how it goes. I don't know. I just hate traveling. I hate flying. as you all know, it seems like always something happens. And I think I mentioned it too. It's like this is going to be the first time I'm away from the company and away from Fayetteville and from, the day-to-day operations since it might even be like 2 or 3 years. So yeah, it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting. So, but yeah, we'll get to your chats again. It's nothing too crazy, as you all know. It's just fun hanging out with y'all. And any questions you got or any comments you got, even if it's non-Razorback related, I'll answer it. Even the ones I probably hate, I'll answer it. So, like Ryan's already coming in and says, "Hey, John, should Gackle move to the pen?" Maybe. It's like Matt Hobbs is an elite level pitching coach. People say what they want about Nate Thompson and whatever, but it's like there's no denying the fact that Matt Hobbs is elite. Like he's one of the best, if not the best pitching coach in the country. So I'm going to trust his judgment on things. And I'm sure that they'll move some stuff around. But like I've told people all the time, like there has never been, like, find me a year where Arkansas pitching started the year with their rotation and ended it with the same rotation. It's never happened. It never happens. So, they'll figure it out. They'll go through it all. So, so yeah, you guys are already getting crazy in here. All right, Big Donnelly says baseball totally drove us across the country in the wrong direction, but totally redeemed itself. Yeah, that was the funniest thing, man. It's like I had people that, and again, it's like you can be critical of it. You can be critical of what's going on. But it's like you should also be realistic. And it's like what happened on Friday, I was just getting people DMing me. It was like, Dave Van Horn sucks. Get him out. He's over the hill. And I'm like, based on one game? It's like, listen, you can be critical. You can have those issues because it was unacceptable, 100% unacceptable. But what does that have to do with firing Dave Van Horn? Like, that's the stuff that always just makes me irate when you just take it so far. Like, yeah, let's just fire the man. Sure. Idiots, man. But yeah, it was pretty tough. It was pretty tough. Finch says, didn't I see the girls get a dub today? Am I tripping? No, you're not tripping. The Ladybacks. I'm going to call them the Ladybacks. They were, I don't know if I told everybody this. They're very anti-Ladybacks. That's what I grew up knowing them as. And there was a time, I think it was probably like early 2010s. They had a marketing decision to stop using that name, Ladybacks. And I'm like, I'm not going to stop doing that. Same thing with like gym backs. It's just cool. I don't know if they brought it back or not, but that was something where I was happy to see them win. Truly, though, back to the point, I was happy to see them win. I know it's not now everything's sunshine and rainbows and the team's good, but I'm sure all of you who have played sports, I know I did. You were on a team that sucked. You were on a team that was just bad, not any good, and like you were 0 for to start the year or whatever. And then you won like that late game against a bad team, but you barely won. And it just felt so good. I remember it was in 9th grade. I was on Woodland Junior High. We were the Cowboys then. Our football team was just garbage. We were awful. But we went 1-9 as an 8th grade team. And then in 9th grade, we started 0-8. And we weren't any good. But we beat Bentonville Lincoln up in Bentonville it was like 20-14 or something, and we went nuts, and it was awesome. So it's like stuff like that. It doesn't change anyone's mind, but I think it's good for them. Personally, I think it is. See, 123 Ramdy says the basketball team appears to be Sweet 16. Hopefully, anything else will be due to a lucky bracket. Here's the thing. Like, I could agree with this. I can get down with that. But my point to you would be, it's all a lucky bracket. Like, that's the NCAA tournament for you in general, is luck and timing and base. Like, it happens to every team. Like when Fairleigh Dickinson beat Purdue. Was that because Fairleigh Dickinson was just a better team than Purdue? No, because it's one of those things, you play each other 100 times, Purdue wins at 99. But Sometimes it's just your game. And sometimes about those matchups. You remember when Arkansas went to their first Elite Eight? Who did they beat in the Sweet 16 game? They beat Oral Roberts, who was a 15 seed and almost lost. So I get what you're saying, but like that to me is right there, Ramsey, is like way I look at the NCAA tournament. Get to the second weekend. Anything less than that is unacceptable and bad. Get to the second weekend, all bets are off because you never know what's going to happen. It's a crazy, crazy different situation. Chamber Time says, what do you think about all the manufactured boogie drama? Great question. I don't care really that much. I think it's a little bit of both. I think that I don't think it's as big of a deal as what people are making it out to be, but I also don't think Boogie did himself any favors with that clip. And then he tweeted out the full clip and was like, I never had any issues with Arkansas. And I was like, and I watched it. I was like, okay, yeah, I get it, but it was not worded right. It was not. I truly believe that he did not have any ill will towards Arkansas. And maybe that's just me being naive. But I think that it was just he could have done a better job of conveying that message. But I think it was bad on ESPN's part personally to kind of stir that pot if there was like without talking with Boogie or without talking with anybody, which maybe they did, but I don't know. I don't really care that much anymore. I mean, it's just the way it is. And if Boogie hates Arkansas or has any problem with Arkansas or Cal, then I just laugh at him. Be like, dude, okay, whatever. Knox Block says, excited to go down and visit the cartel. JK, you'll be fine. Yeah, trust me, I know. It's been the jokes that have been made. First time leaving the country. And yeah, the anxiety is going to be rough. And it has nothing to do with even going to Mexico. That's a part of it, or just leaving the country. It's just, I hate flying. I hate flying more than anything. I get it. I understand that people say it's the safest way to travel. Okay, but I get it. I agree, but it still doesn't make it any easier. I hate dealing with security. I hate going through TSA. I hate having delays. I hate having connecting flights. I hate the turbulence. I hate being stuffed into a little bitty plane. I just hate all of it. So anyways. Let's see. Beyond the transaction as best of the weekend. Ellis's bombastic post game on Friday. Best I've seen him. Yeah. Well, I mean, Andrew always does a great job. Andrew always does great. Like he's great on all sports, but baseball's his thing. And he knows the way to approach it where he doesn't pump sunshine or blow smoke. He's going to call it out if it's bad. And he's going to also, be real about it if it's good. Let's see. Plaque Neighbors, thank you. Says, what is softer, Arkansas's interior defense or Charmin extra soft? Yeah, dude, that was the tough thing. Seeing your bigs just like non-factor, like Nick Pringle getting 0 points, going 0 of 5 from the free throw line. It's just like, what else do you say? It's just disappointing. But they just wrecked you. You knew the matchup was bad. And we talked about it all week. I know Curtis talked about it. I was like, the matchup's bad for those bigs down low. I just didn't think it'd be that bad. Sheesh. It's pretty rough. Okay, so James is like, I'm done with Brazil. Will not miss him 3 points yesterday. Stop. Brazil's the reason why they lost. That's the thing. You lost by 40, and you're coming after Trevin Brazil, who literally has played phenomenal in like the last 7 games leading up to it. He has that game, and now you're done with him. Stop. Peyton says, didn't you know that overreacting is the only acceptable reaction? Oh, I know. And that's the thing is like I've accepted in this business now is that overreactions are part of it. I think that there are not only just fans, but like hosts, podcast hosts. We don't do it. I mean, I feel like we do a pretty good job of managing that, but people love overreactions because overreactions is very emotional, and emotional means numbers. And so, it's just the way it is. But I try to look at it. Here's the thing about basketball, and I've said this many times. You don't look at games, you look at seasons. Last year, you went to the Sweet 16, how it ended. But you know what? I didn't go after that Sweet 16, be like, yeah, going to the Sweet 16 was nice. But when they lost to South Carolina, that ruined the year for me. It's like, no, you went to the Sweet 16. Same thing when that year you went to the Sweet 16 with Muss and them, Anthony Black. It's like, yeah, that was all great and all, but when they lost to LSU on the road, ruined the year for me. No, it's about the season. And I guarantee you, if Arkansas found a way to go to like the Sweet 16 Elite Eight or maybe in a Final Four this year, no one's going to look back and be like, yeah, that Final Four was great, but when they got trounced by Florida, that made the season terrible. No, it's not that way. So Hickory Hawk says John was a post presence. Benville Lincoln could not handle. Sorry, it was actually football, for one. And two, I did not play. I was not here's what was weird. I didn't have a work ethic as much as I needed to when I was younger. But I will say though that I was, for as fat as I was like one of the fastest guys on the team for my weight. So I made a heck of a fullback move when I started doing that a little bit, playing fullback a little bit, but it was never anything serious. But the point is, it was not basketball. It was definitely football. We were pretty rough. See, Big Dolly says, do you see where Chad Baker Mazzara left the USC program, but I didn't come here? Yeah, that's who was shocked by that. Who could have seen this coming? That Chad Baker Mazzara would have issues, and being over there under Muss, like, yeah, it's just, man, what can you say? It's weird. I wonder if it'll ever come out as like why he's no longer there. Maybe not, but could happen. Let's see. Excuse me. I still like that. Yeah. Getting destroyed by Florida reminded me of the tragedy of the Darth Plagueis the Wise. I don't know where this bit came from, but I appreciate it and I respect it. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know where the bit came from and when he started doing it, but I respect it. I was going to say it. Dog sneezing. Let's get allergies here. See, Hickory Hawks also says Boogie can say he didn't say anything bad about Arkansas, and sure, but I will on for not cheer for the G League team he goes to. Well, that's fine. I don't think anybody needs to. I'm not saying you have to be like, you have to be awesome. Like you have to root for Boogie Fland in Florida. Like, no, you don't have to do that squat at all. I'm just saying you don't have to hate the kid. Like, that's my thing. But again, it's all just dumb. It's a very dumb thing that I see of what's going on. Finch says, I love this team, and I'm not going to bash these young men, but I'm tired of the fraudulent basketball team without true bigs. I'm wanting to see something beautiful next year. I want nice things. Finch, like, I get it, dude, but is your team, your Razorbacks terrible? Are they terrible? Are they a bad basketball team? No. This is the best basketball team you've had in at least 4 years. Listen, everybody wants dominating bigs. But you just can't always have what you want. Like sometimes you miss on some guys, and that's the way it goes. But I don't know. I look at it as this way, and I get it's because you're coming off a loss. I look at it where it's like we could sit here and talk about, yeah, you just don't have the bigs. I'm talking about how about like you have Darius Acuff. You know, like that's the way I always look at it. You can be upset by like, we don't have the bigs. You're right. But you got Darius Acuff, which nobody else has. Nobody has anyone who can come close to that. So I look at it from that perspective. But I understand. I understand what you're saying. Beyond Transaction says, you tweet out about it, but what's your honest take? Who wins, Golden or Cal? I mean, if it's a true fight, I mean, Cal's got like 30 years on him. So I don't know about that. But I think Cal knows more people. I think Cal would have somebody taken out, you know, where he puts on game film and the film room becomes a highway. You know? I could see that happening. Let's see. Sharkansas says, my best of the weekend is coming in 81st of 1,480 in one of the biggest poker tournaments I played in. Nice, man. Nice. You don't have to say how much money you won in that, but I'm sure it was a good amount. See, Big Dolly says, do you see a similar resurgent in either you or Pringle like Jonas had postseason? I mean, dude, I'm hoping, but like, how am I supposed to? I I just get tired of it. I get it. But I just get tired of just hoping in something to be better than what it's been for 90% of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I want it to happen for sure, but I just want to be like, well, let's just hope he resurges, you get something going there in postseason. Maybe. Sorry, I'm tweeting something. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm not answering these questions. Some of those questions are pretty rude. Let's see. Maybe we're just trying not to overreact. I'd still like y'all. I know we'll talk about Inside Arkansas Live a lot tomorrow. That NFL Combine stuff. Maybe I'm thinking too much of it, but that's one of the coolest things ever. Seeing like Taylor Green literally break records as a quarterback, running a 4.3 640. Mike Washington running it. Just say what you want about the man, and yes, I'm going to bring him up. Bobby Petrino knows how to identify speed, and those guys have speed, man. I was so happy for them. I'm rooting for them. There's a chance, folks, with Taylor Green. There's a chance Taylor Green's going to be the highest drafted Razorback quarterback of all time. There's a chance. Could you imagine that? Pigpen says, John, of all times to go to Mexico. Listen, I understand. Trust me, but we've been on top of it. We've been looking at it. Like they've been getting the United States getting the go ahead that it's fine. And just we're going to the resort and we're not doing anything else and we're coming back. But thank you for adding to my anxiety already. Sheesh. Michael's talking. Frigate says because their season's over. I'm assuming we're talking about Chad Baker Mazzara. Yeah, they ain't it. That ain't it. Mike also says, I think it can be turned to a good thing in the end for them. Guys losing like that, Florida's very well, maybe the national champs. Yeah. Yeah. I can understand that. That's what I'm hoping. Some of these questions, man. I don't understand like half of the stuff that sometimes y'all bring up or what you guys start getting into arguments about, but it still makes me laugh a lot. Hickory Hawk says, these are the best basketball players I've seen on a Razorback team in my lifetime. I don't take it for granted. Exactly, Hickory Hawk. That's the way I look at it, dude. Like, this is the best team you've had talent-wise. And, you know, but it's always just like, hey, if you just had this one player, like me and my buddy, Grant, we're talking yesterday, like Jogan was like, dude, imagine if this team had Daniel Gafford. It's like, yeah, like imagine if they had Daniel Gafford, just what that would be, what this team would be. But you could do that for so many different teams. Like if they just had this one guy, but that's just not how it works. So I'll put it together. But they got some great teams. There's some great players at least. So that says, John, you got to get a Ted Lasso Believe sign to get some of those viewers to buy in. Yeah, right. The Razorback fans are not going to buy in until the trophy's being hoisted. Which I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. PTSD is real when it comes to Razorback fandom. So I get it. Tyler says, John, why can Brazil only make shots when he makes his first three? I mean, it's a confidence thing, I think. No, because it's just a matter of the matchup, too. You know, there's certain games that he's played in that he just matched up really well, and there's times that he doesn't. I mean, there's just a lot of different reasons behind it. But again, people can have their opinions. Like, this is what this is about. They can have their opinions, but I just think it's very short-sighted and in some cases maybe even agenda-driven. If you are coming on here or right now you're saying Brazil sucks, I have a problem with Trevin Brazil, like I'm done with him, like I get frustrated by that. The guy literally had 7 or 8 straight games of incredible play, and nobody just gives a peep about how great he's playing. And then the second he has a bad game, people are just like, this guy sucks, I'm done with him. I don't get it. I have never understood it. I don't know, but my theory has always been just like in this day and age, especially, people, if you get tired of people after a long period of time, regardless if how good they are or how not good they are, I think that's a big part of it. Like there were people that felt this way about Devo Davis towards the end. There were people that felt this way about KJ Jefferson. You know, there are people that feel that way because they just been there forever, which should be a good thing. But I think that's just something that for whatever reason we get into on that front. But that's just my theory. Patrick says they're not a bad team, but ignoring problems is another ignoring the pieces that get you to the top when you have been taken down by what we lack. No, I'm not ignoring the problems. It's not an ignoring of the problems. It's just looking at it through the lens of what you have in your strengths instead of looking at it from your weakness. It's looking at it from this, like this team is a good team and they can do some serious damage once they get to the point of the NCAA tournament. They can, but they do have some weaknesses, just like a lot of teams. I think that Arkansas is in the second tier of teams. There's the top tier teams, which is like the Florida, the Michigans, the Arizonas, the Dukes. Like those are top tier teams. Arkansas is that second tier. And that's okay. Like, but I guess I look at it this way where I want Arkansas to win. I want it to be at a high level, but I wasn't also coming into this season being like national championship, Final Four at least. It's like, no, listen, you have some issues and you got to get them fixed, but this is the roster that you have right now. And none of y'all thought in the offseason when you added Nick Pringle and, Malik Ewan that this would be what you'd be having. No one thought that. Cal and them didn't think, but it happened. It sucks, but it happens. So now it's not about ignoring the problem and trying to fix it. It's about, hey, this is the team you got. You can't add anybody. You can't go out and get Bediako. So you just got to do the best that you can. And I still think that this team can find some ways to be really good this year in postseason play. Tyler says, John, what is Taylor Green's best win as a Razorback? Oh, man, that's tough because there hasn't been many. I know. Like beating Texas Tech in the Liberty Bowl, maybe. I mean, he played fairly, like Tennessee. I know that he got hurt and Malachi came in. But he was staying okay in that game. Yeah, there ain't much. Who's anybody's best win over the past 2 years? He's been terrible. Been bad. Yeah, Peyton says that this combine is one of the best ever in terms of testing. Crazy numbers put up by all the position groups. Yeah. Like that's the thing is like Taylor Green put up the numbers that were not just, the best in the quarterback class this year. No, the best of all time in all quarterbacks. I saw the graphic. I should have pulled it up. The one that said about Mike Washington using that algorithm. And it's like he had the best NFL combine of any running back ever because of his, like when you compare it in his size and his weight and height and his numbers, he's like had one of the best you could ever have. So, yeah, it's been great. Big Hog Chris says, would you rather make a Final Four this year or guaranteed 8 wins in football next year? Give me a Final Four. Sorry. Give me a Final Four. I've seen 8 wins. I have not seen a Final Four, at least not like in my adult life when I can really pay attention. Give me a Final Four all day. I want to go to Indianapolis. I want to go to St. Elmo's again. I want to go to the dugout like when I did my shows there a few years ago. I want to do that again. It'll be fine. Don Pittman says, can't wait for Inside Arkansas on Omaha again. Yeah, me neither. Hopefully it happens. That was a lot of fun. It always is fun doing all that. Always a lot of fun. I see now people being mean again. Let's see. If we just had Bediako, yeah. If only. If only. See, Dwight says, just joining, but man, Florida looked good last night. It was a bad loss, but it's not over for Arkansas. Listen, that's the way to look at it. Like you got 2 games left in regular season. You better lock in. Texas is playing better. They beat Texas A&M on the road this past week. Missouri's surging. Like you can't mess around. Can't mess around. It's good to see Katz in here again. I'm sure he's making everybody mad again. Always great. Always so much fun. DJ Not Tomorrow says that Arkansas fans can be overly critical and wonder why players like Boogie have certain feelings about Arkansas when they leave. Okay, well, in the defense of in this particular situation, I think the fans anywhere can be overly critical. Like, it's not like it's just unique to Arkansas. Like, look around when you see players leave for other schools and how those other schools treat those players, and like they get booed and they're like all that stuff. So like, I think that happens. So I get what you're saying though. See, Nikki Ryan Lee says, John, stream on Kick so I can give you some money. YouTube gates my money. We actually have a Kick account, if you can believe it. You check that out again and see. Yeah, we have a Kick account. We just never really use it that much because I don't know why many people would get on it. But yeah, I think follow us on there. Maybe we'll start doing it from Kick again. Because Kick's apparently taken off. I know we do it on Twitch, but maybe we'll switch over to Kick. Or maybe because I'm on LinkedIn for some reason. I need to get off that. But yeah, I'll start doing that for you. At least we'll have one over there. James says, John, are you going to Mexico to learn the ways of salsa? No, I'm not. I'm not doing that. It's not the reason I'm going to Mexico. It's a bachelor party for my buddy Brendan. And it's been in plans for a while. And I appreciate him. You know, I know there's never, because like in our business, there's never a good time to take trips or vacations except for like summertime. But summertime taking trips are always more expensive because more people are doing it. But I appreciate Brendan and all of them at least planning it around where it's like, yes, I'm going to miss the Texas and Missouri game. I know, and it sucks. But like, you know, I'm not missing the SEC tournament. I'm not missing postseason. I'm not missing major baseball weekends, like all that. But no, the point is like, no, I'm not going that way. I got my salsa made. I got it all jarred up. I'm about to start selling it. Arkansas says the real question is we want the answer to ignoring Leak, most likely going to the draft. Who would you rather have return next year, Leak, Billy, or Ewan? Okay, so between those three, man, probably Billy to me. And maybe I'm just living in the moment because Billy's had like 6 straight 20-point games. But I just think with Billy's skill set, and Leak's great, and Ewan's even like both. I'd love to have all of them back. But if I can only choose one, I feel like Billy would be the move. Freak athlete, guy with a motor like that, left-handed, you know, starting to develop his offensive game. Yeah, I'd probably have to say Billy. I have to say Billy. Nick says Nick Kick pays you more money anyway. Yeah, but you have to have an audience on Kick, don't you? I feel like we may have 2 people. But I'll do that for you, Nick. I'll do that for you. I'll let you know when. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just I want all the players back that you can get back. I want Carter Knox back. I know that for sure. Love to have him back. Tyler says, would you rather have dinner with Pittman and Dave Van Horn or Cal and Silverfield? That's actually a really, really good question. Because Pittman and DVH would be great for like a sports bar, throwing peanuts on the ground type of place. You know, like they could just be just some guys, you know, having a few cold ones and talking noise. That'd be great. I feel like going out to eat with Cal, you would not be in that element. Like it'd be a fancier restaurant. The food's probably better quality. You know, it'd probably be a who's who around there. Huh. That's a tough one. I'd probably do I don't know, I'd probably say Pittman and Dave Van Horn, just because that's more my style for the eating and hanging out. It's a good question though. Good question. Arkansas says you also have to be a bleep human to stream on Kick. Is that true? I don't know anything about it. I don't know what that means. I don't keep up with it these days. I just the StreamYard, the stream service that we use, they give us options for it, and one of them's Kick. So I don't know. I have heard some like people are really running away from Twitch, or it's like changing everything. People aren't doing it as much as they'd like to. So, but yeah. I swear, some of y'all in the chat, like, I'm going to play this because this is just what it reminds me sometimes in the chat of you guys.
This is bullcrap. Well, I ain't standing for this. I'm mad as hell. Take your job. Take your job. Take your job.
That's what I feel like it's, I don't know, you've probably heard it, and it's like a South Park reference, but sometimes when y'all in the chat just arguing over nonsense, I love you all, but it's just this is bullcrap. Like, relax. Just we're over here having a good time. It's getting you Sunday scaries, man. Getting you ready for it, just to be very chill. Yeah, rabble. Exactly. Hickory Hawk says if you could have Billy and Leak back next year, but you have to keep Pringle and acquire no new bigs, let them go or bet on Kenny Payne, the developer. That's tough, man, because it's like you're not going to acquire any bigs. That's tough. I really wish I could answer this logically, but I would say give me Billy and Leak just because you know what you're getting with them. Because what if you get, what you're like, oh, we'll go the other direction and have some other bigs, but then you miss on those. Like, it's a possibility. Plus, I think if you found a way to get Billy back next year, and you have Carter back at full health, if he's able to come back, and then you have Isaiah Seeley. Those are three pretty good wings, or at least guys to play at that 3 spot. And then you got the true freshman coming in. I mean, all you would need really is the bigs. So, if Malik Ewan comes back, is that going to be what happens? Or are they going to go a different direction? I don't know. All right. And he says, since y'all think TV is so great and Pringle so bad, if Pringle played TV minutes, he would be averaging 7.5 points and 6 rebounds a game. Not that far off from what the amazing. That is just false. Like, Ryan, I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about. And Ryan, I'm not, you have your opinion, do what you want, but like, that's just agenda driven, dude. Like, when you're that, like, if you're saying nonsense like that, you just got an agenda, man. You just got a straight up hatred for Trevin Brazil. And that's because that's just the type of comment I just can't get down with. It's numbers. No, it's not. It's not at all. The guy had 0 points last night. Hold on a second. How many minutes did he play? Nick Pringle played 12 minutes last night and had 0 points. 2 rebounds. How's that numbers? Like, what? Jeez, man. Just saying nonsense. Jamer Time says, what are the odds that Billy declares for the draft while maintaining eligibility? Possible. You could do what Carter Knox did last year. I think it's absolutely possible. In fact, I bet you that probably ends up what happens. Jermaine Cordbread Perkins. Okay. Pick up basketball game to 21. What's the score? You and Andrew versus Curtis and Dudley. Well, Curtis and Dudley definitely are the ball knowers. Curtis got the size. Dudley can't move like he once did, but he was all basketball and he was under Eddie Sutton, so he knows a lot more about it. I think Andrew could do some ball handling a little bit. I don't know about his shooting, but I bet you it's pretty good. I'm worthless. Basketball's just like, it's one of those things where I haven't played basketball in so long. So I felt like I was always like good enough to go on a pickup court, like just to do a pickup game and shoot a couple times. But it's just, I've been playing more golf than anything. And I still stink at that sport too. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and say Curtis and Dudley because nobody will be able to stop Curtis on the inside. That's just me. And Camel Gang comes in. Sealy can pack up. Appreciate you. He's not Cal material. Please, the home state folks, get some tick and A state. Well, okay. Just taking it to that level, okay, I guess. Man. Hickory Hognifer says John and Andrew would do a lot of passing. Yeah, we just be throwing it back and forth. I don't know. Like, that thing is, like, obviously Curtis is basketball, Andrew's baseball. Like, I feel like I know football, the sport of football, most of all the other sports. I understand it more than the other sports. I'm not saying I'm an expert in any stretch. But I think, and this is probably me talking crazy, but I think I can, I could probably do as far as throwing the football. I think I'd be the best one of the group. I think. I say that as if I've seen them throw football. I've never seen any of these guys throw football. They could throw it much better than me, but doing like, if like the NFL Combine, I feel like I could do pretty good at it. Yeah. So now some of you guys are just being mean. But those are the types of questions that you guys always want to know about, want to ask, get into it. And everything there too. Man, it's been a long weekend. I'm tired. Got that. I still got a lot of packing to do. We got to take care of business there. We're going to be live at Blue Ember. When I say we, Curtis and Andrew will be live at Blue Ember for Inside Arkansas Live on Wednesday in Rogers. So be sure to pull up to that if y'all are in the area. It'd be a lot of fun. So do that, and some more stuff, some more cool stuff, hopefully coming up here soon. Trying to make an announcement, but timing is everything. Timing is everything. But yeah, we'll have that going on. Of course, all of our content will be staying the same. So good grief. Phil just says, John, I'm thinking of a question. Okay, well, don't think too hard. Yeah, Hager Oxy, y'all quit entertaining Ryan's BS. Yeah, like just stop doing all that. Finch says, who would pull more Cougars, Ellis or John? Bathrooms at Razorback games are all meet-up locations. Good grief, man. Oh. Andrew's spoken for, so that's, disqualifies him. But I'll probably just win by default because of that fact. Let's see. Jamer Time says, John, what would be your last meal? App, main course, and dessert? Hey, listen, these are the questions I like. If it's the app, I'm always going to go with the dips. I just like my salsa, but I'm saying I'm a dip fan. So chips and salsa, chips and cheese dip, guacamole, something like that. Buffalo chicken dip, go with that. Main course, though, it's tough, but I'm a big steak fan. Always have been. I still have the evidence. I ate a 3-pound steak at Doe's one time when I was younger by myself, sitting. I ate that whole thing, and I think I had the meat sweats for a week, but steak is that's my jam, so I'd probably go with that. Dessert, big fan of the apple cobbler with like cinnamon ice cream. Never had it. Pretty good stuff. So just saying. But yeah, those are the questions that's really, really big time there too. V-Wall says, would you rather keep Bud Walton or Baum Walker? It's like, are they going to get destroyed? I mean, if that's the case, I'd probably go with Bud Walton just because I've had more memories and more fun in Bud Walton Arena in my life. But that's nothing against Baum. I've had some great ones there too, but you can't get rid of the Bud. Hickory Hawk says, John in Fayetteville, but Ellis clears in the Rock. You know what's funny is that like when I was down there in Little Rock, I mean this with love and hopefully don't insult anybody. When I was down in Little Rock, when I worked at the at the Buzz, we'd always do these events, and there were always because I was the youngest by far at the Buzz, and there were always events that we had, and everyone was so nice, but everyone was really older, like not in a bad way, just they were older, and so I kind of just was finding my way to blend in, I guess. But there were occasions where I had people like there were some older women that would really, really hit me up. One of them said that she wanted to take me home, and I was like, I don't know if I needed to go all that. And it was really funny. And she's cool now. Like we're still friends this day, but she she had a good time, and she had a few. And but yeah, she was just it was the funniest, but like time where I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to leave. she's like legitimately trying. She's like, I want to take you home and you can what she taught say like not sugar daddy, but it was something like that. And I was like, yikes. All right, well, great. Finch says, hey John, I was riding him in the new place now that you've been there for a minute. He's doing all right. He's doing all right. Someone told me every time someone super chats something that I got to bring Rowdy into it. I was like, okay, well, yeah, there you go. Super chat. I'll call Rowdy and lift up his 50-pound behind and make him scared on it. Peyton Listen says, elite take on buffalo chicken dip. Yeah, dude, I love buffalo chicken dip. It's cheese and buffalo chicken. I mean, what could be better? What could be better? We're not getting political, not answering those questions. Noah says, I was broke my freshman year. My roommate took me to Doe's and told me it was a super affordable. Don't worry. And he'll say it's the best meal of water I've ever had. Yeah, it's pricey. Yeah, whoever told you that, he was lying to you. But it's worth it to me. It's one of my favorite steak places. Tyler says, DVH versus Dudley in a 40-yard dash. I don't know. I've seen these people run. How that works. Ryan says, need to put Rowdy on the soundboard for super chats. How do I put Rowdy on the soundboard when he doesn't make noise? He's never barked in his life. If you want to say John would have a better percentage at the line than Pringle. Give me 10 free throws. I bet you I can make 5. I think I can make 5. That'd probably be my best, but I think I can make 5. Finch says, John, favorite seafood. I love the mud bugs, man, the dirty stuff. Give me the shrimp. Shrimp probably is my favorite seafood, like overall, but crawfish, we had some great ones at Goat Lab. Lobster, crab. I'm not a big fish person though. Like catfish is fine, but it's like, no, I don't really care for the fish. Give me all that stuff. Phil says, John, why is Rowdy never bark? Because he doesn't bark. He's a Shiba. They don't make noise. They're like cats. They're just like a big cat, a dog version of a cat. They just hang out. They're independent. They clean themselves. He just chills. So it's one of the reasons why I love him. Because he's just so low maintenance and chill. Now he gets scared of everything, but it's pretty chill. James says, do you think Petrino is going to be successful at UNC with old Billy Belichick? Yes. And I think that they're going to fire Bill Belichick in midseason. It's going to go awry, and they're going to just elevate Petrino to be interim head coach, and he's going to try to do the same thing over there they try to do over here. He knows how to, dude, and the guy knows how to coach. And that was my biggest thing about Petrino. Say what you want about the man, but, and I know this year didn't go well, 100%. He should not have stayed on as head coach. 100%. Totally agree. But the guy knows how to coach an offense. He knows how to find diamonds in the rough. That's why he was so good here when he was head coach. He can find diamonds in the rough, fast speed dudes, and make it happen. Like that's what he is. Score prediction for Utah and Arkansas week 2. I have no idea. I have no clue, man. I haven't seen this team in spring practice. Here, Rock says, you can make 5 out of 10 free throws, but can you give us 5 fouls in 12 minutes? Now, that I can do. I can do that. Peyton says, John, is Jamie Shaw the least qualified guy to evaluate basketball talent at a high level? Yeah, I saw all that stuff, man. Here's my take on all that. Like everyone's got their opinion. You got scouts and people who are identifying stuff, and they're looking at it from whether it's high school or college or whatever. And my thing is, like, there's some that I respect and some that I don't. Like, like in the NFL, you got like Mel Kipers of the world, Todd McShay's of the world, but you have people at the NFL Network. You have everyone's got their own approach, but to me, it kind of goes back to the whole thing where if everyone's saying that one player, like if it's a pretty unanimous thing that one player is like elite level great, and then you're the one that's saying he's not, I don't think that's you being like, that's just you trying to be different. Like, you're not a true evaluator. You're just trying to be different. I'm not saying though that everyone will be right, because a dead clock's right twice a day. Like, not everybody's going to be right about it, but if everyone's on board with it saying, hey, this guy's here, this guy's here, this guy's here, but you're the one that's like, actually, no, to me, that's more of an indictment on you personally. All right, a few more here because I'm about to run out of here. Gotta get into packing. Y'all are wild. In fact, again, the pugs are funny. I don't have a pug. He's a Shiba Inu. I still didn't know how to pronounce it forever. Bench says, who could land the hardest punch between Ellis, Curtis, John, and Cameron? I kind of feel like it might be John. Have you seen his gun? Stop. First off, I don't think I need to go to Fight House. I'm going to do some content with that once everything kind of slows down, especially. But I need to go to Fight House. I'm going to do some training, some fight training, see how it goes, do some film on it and kind of learn some things. But I'm going to be honest. I have never been in a physical fight before. I mean, other than just if you're a kid, like wrestling around or something, like as far as just like a all out brawl, never been in one, because I try to avoid fights, not because I'm afraid of them, but just because I think it's really stupid. And especially in my position now, I for sure do not want to get into a fight. But I will say that I did punch my refrigerator and made a big dent in it, and it really hurt. But I did that when the stuff with Natty State was going down, and I had to kind of come to some realizations there. But that was probably the hardest of everything I've ever hit. So if that's worth anything, I think it still has the dent probably today. But no, I don't know, man. I don't know who would hit the hardest. I don't know, because Curtis, Andrew, Cameron, I don't know. They may have all been in fights before. I've never been in a fight. That's a good question, I think. Jeez. It was like John's hitting the hardest. No, I don't. Again, I do like this from Ryan. He's like, it's probably Reagan. Yeah, intern Reagan. That 1000%. Like that one, I will say, Reagan, you don't mess around with Reagan. She'll kill you. And I mean that in love. Talking punching the arcade thing. I don't know what that is. Peyton says John says John's also going to be a pit master. I don't know about all that. I got to get to this. I got to get my salsa together first. Intern Cameron, intern Reagan in a 3-round fight at the Fight House for intern of the year. See, this is the stuff that we don't need to go down. We don't need to start this stuff. Don't wrap the interns in it. Good grief. No interns fighting. Like, this is not Fight Club. It's like, I'm just going to bring in a bunch of interns. Y'all got to have to go out and fight. So, yeah. I don't want any of my interns fighting. That's one of the things that's like, I have to have those conversations with all of them. And they're all, I'm not like getting upset with them. Just those conversations of, hey, just remember when you're working here at Inside Arkansas, who you represent. And so you just have to be careful. You can go have a good time and stuff, but you got to be careful. It's like, I always have this fear. It's like, I'm going to wake up one morning and someone got in a fight or something happened, and it's just like a scary thing, which that won't happen because we have great interns and great employees and everything. But it's just one of those things that's like one of those like, what's the protocol here? But hopefully we never, ever, ever will have to ever do that. Because I've worked at some places where it did have to happen. I know when I was working at the Buzz, I know y'all remember about some people at the Buzz getting in some trouble like that. So yeah, it's always just one of those things that hopefully never have to happen. All right, a couple more here. John, can we have a football hate watch party and a football love watch party next year for Razorback football? What is a football hate watch party? What's a football love watch party? Like, what's the difference between the two? You got to watch the games? Maybe. Hey, but listen, next year's a long ways away. Long ways away. Big Donley says most likely to get into a bar fight, Ellis. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know who would be the most likely. None of us like being talked to certain ways. I have I would say I may have a bigger threshold for getting stuff said to me. But here's the problem. And I'm gonna be very real with all of y'all, because since you probably don't even care about this. I do get mad. Somebody asked me the other day, they're like, you never get mad at anybody, like in the chat or anything. It's like, no, I get mad. I get mad at people. Like I have an anger thing that'll happen. But my problem and why I really have to maintain is I'm not one of those people that has the levels of their anger. It's like if I get angry, it's like it takes a long time for me to come back from it. Like I lose it. And it's happened a few times. I don't like it. I don't want it to, but it's like I also don't go looking to try to be mad. I don't want to be mad. I'm a happy person. I like happiness. But yeah, sometimes it could be that way. Yeah, Peyton says, who was the guy that stole the purse at the Buzz? Yeah, it was Eric Sullivan. The guy that would always drunkenly tweet me and say horrible things to me after I took his job. I just randomly, I would never even interact with him or anything. He would just tweet me and say like, he had a better show and my ratings were horrible, which wasn't the case at all. They were better than what he ever had. And I just thought it was always so strange that he would tweet at me horrible things. That's another thing too, is like, people, if you I get horrible stuff said to me every day. It's part of it. But if you're like a real person that I really know, or that you're like with your in the media or whatever, there's been times, people don't know this. There's been times where I handle stuff in person. And there's been some instances just even here recently where there were people that were either in the media or whatever that were saying things that were not true, that were acting a certain way about me or telling people some stuff about me that wasn't true. And so once I saw them out in person, I went to them in person and I handled it. And I'm very poignant about that. I don't handle stuff on social media. I don't like doing that. I try to give them, do it just one-on-one and be like, hey, this is what you're doing. It's not true. So you better stop. And most of the time they do. But not everybody's going to that way. But I like to handle stuff in person. I don't like doing the social media back and forth. I don't do that because nobody wins. Nobody wins in that. See, I was going to ask that question, but not with the way you did. You put that. What the world is going on in here? Yeah, John's so peaceful. Yeah. I'm not peaceful. I just feel like fighting with people on the internet is usually not a thing that I don't ever feel good about. What does it accomplish? I've had, and that's why I like to do it in person or reach out to them personally. And because I think that's the right way to handle it. I'll talk about myself and, something's up or something I need to address, it'll be addressed. But I think that there's something to be said about the best. I could be wrong about this, but I feel like the best result from an actual like in-person resolution is always a much more positive thing, because you don't have any, because it doesn't have to have anyone else involved. I like to handle stuff where if it's like you have an issue with me, then let's handle it. But if you have other ways of doing it, then we'll handle it that way too. All right. I ain't saying that, Ryan. John uses his words. Yes, I try to use my words because I'd rather use my words, because that's how I feel like you can handle a lot of things if you just communicate. Well, they always talk about in relationships and marriages, the best way to handle things is communication. Same thing, conflict resolution. Best way is communicating. And as long as it's never personal and as long as it never gets to a level it doesn't need to be, but if it does, then we'll do it that way. So, Steven Dix get drafted? Maybe. Like, that's the thing is, like, these drafts and stuff, I don't know. I'm wondering if, like, I think there'll probably be 3 Razorbacks drafted. I'm going to go 3. I'm going to say 3. Hickory Hog says, other established media outlets have to be so mad at themselves for not doing what Inside Arkansas does. If you all did it, John made his own lane. Well, thank you, Hickory Hog. I mean, I don't know if they're mad. But I do know that it's flattering in a way of seeing so many people trying to do similar things, which again, I'm not hating on them. Like, people don't understand this. Like, this is another thing too, real quick. You have to understand that in this business, because I did something, because we started Inside Arkansas Live, like in Inside Arkansas, like I started that. Like, I can't sit back and be like, anybody that tries to do that something similar thing here in the state, joke, terrible, trash. Yeah, come up with something on your own. It's like, no, that's not how I approach it. It's like, no, I want people to push the competition because it makes me work harder and it makes the product better and everything. So I see it as a form of flattery, but I'm not mad at anybody that does it. Like, I would rather be the first in something like that than to be a follower in something. But I'm not arrogant enough to think that, oh, I'm going to do this and nobody is going to do it at all. And if they do the same thing I'm doing, it's some terrible product. No, I want people to push me to be my best. That's what competition's all about. So, but thank you. I do appreciate it. Big Tommy says, I love when you were John when he was with Tommy, the Buzz, and now here. It's been a wild water ride for you, my guy. Yeah, no, I've been very fortunate, man. I've been very blessed. Not many people can say that they worked at 4 different sports talk radio stations here in the state, but I have. I think I've worked for all but one, and that was the Jonesboro station. But no, I started at 92.1 The Ticket. Went over to ESPN 99.5 at the time when it was Hog Sports Radio. And then I moved over to ESPN Arkansas, hit that line, and then I moved over to the Buzz. So, yeah, I've been very blessed, man. I've been very, very blessed. I think that's a good way to end it. Appreciate all of y'all. Like I said, this is just fun, just hanging out. It's a little shortened this time around because of the fact we had no guests. But again, reminder, there's not going to be any Sunday Scaries next week because I'm going to be on my way back from Mexico. So hopefully all goes well. We'll see. Hoping for the best. But at least I'll be with my friends. So we'll have each other. But either way, everybody be sure to subscribe to us here at Inside Arkansas on YouTube. Check us out on all social medias. And be sure to check out all of our audio podcasts wherever podcasts are found. That'll do it for us today. I'm John Neighbors. Same sports show, same sports channel. In 2 weeks from now, have a great rest of your day, everybody. We'll see you at Inside Arkansas Live tomorrow at noon sharp.